March 2012, a tornado ripped through parts of Indiana and Kentucky, devastating everything in its path. One of the hardest hit areas was Henryville, Indiana, and this building, the Henryville Junior High School. Now tell me where you were when you heard the news of this devastating tornado that demolished a good part of the school.
We were at our national builder meeting in Las Vegas.
Right.
And of course, we knew the storms were coming because we'd heard the weather forecast, and of course we have children and grandchildren, so we'd call back and make sure that they're in the basement, and then but just watching the TV and then started seeing the reports of the tornadoes and the path that it had taken, and it showed, well, it hit a school in Henryville, Indiana, and I said, that's my school.
Basically, this was where the tornado stopped at, was this office area here. There was several children and office staff right behind that wall. Mm-hmm. And the tornado took everything coming all the way through here, totally destroyed it.
You get here and you see how everything was just destroyed and just debris scattered all over the area from miles around.
This here is our high school dining area. It was entirely down to the concrete, terrazzo flooring, and everything. If you ever dealt with terrazzo, you know it's not a fast product to install and have a finished product. Mm-hmm. But this was entirely flattened. Rafters
missing, roof's gone. Restaurants on top of the roofs here at the school. Just school buses overturned. I mean, it's just, you walk in here and you just can't believe what you see. It just kind of tears you apart, and you think, oh my gosh, how are you ever going to replace this? How are you ever going to get this back together again?
After you, sir. All right, Mike, this is entirely new. Parts of the two-story came over and actually crashed through the roof system here and took out the bar system and the entire floor. And it just opened everything up to the elements, and it was an entire loss on the floor and structurally.
I don't think you've had to work on a disaster recovery project like this to this magnitude ever.
No, we haven't. We've been involved in projects of storm and storm related, but they're not of a disaster like this. Just when you walked up to this site, first seeing it, and drive over the hill behind us here, it's just devastating to look what happened at this particular site.
It was Tuesday after the tornado that I got a call from an engineering firm, Collins Engineering, out of North Carolina, and they said, we've been hired by Balfour to get this school rebuilt, and we're sitting here looking at your Ceco drawings. And I said, what? Ceco, where'd you get the Ceco drawings? And he said, well, from Sylvia. She sent the drawings out, emailed them to them the very same day, which set the precedent of what Ceco could do if we needed to get it done in a hurry.
Talk to us about when you first arrived and you were here a couple of days after. It hit Friday, was it, or Saturday?
It hit on a Friday, March the 2nd.
Yeah.
Well, exactly a week later, Bob Koetter was meeting down here with those engineers, and Koetter Construction was hired to rebuild the school.
Mm-hmm. Well, we took the areas that had the most lead time and the most work on it, and got started on the engineering, got started on ordering materials, and at least got that process going.
And so Bob asked me, how can we expedite this project? Mm-hmm. I said, the way to move it in a hurry and get the material, because he said, we're looking for material within a month. Mm-hmm. I said, we need to be able to furnish what we supplied before. Mm-hmm. That way we can get your material there.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, the other areas that weren't damaged so bad that maybe just needed re-roofs. They had some water damage. Mm-hmm. A lot of the roof damage wasn't really, it didn't really have leaks, it had more hail damage. The hail was softball size. Mm-hmm. The ground looked like a sheep's foot had run over it, and the roof looked like a bunch of cattle had trumped it. So you had a lot of water damage. It wasn't necessarily structural damage. So we were able to, with Ceco and my brother Kenny's expertise, come in with a system after a couple of days of thought process of ordering a roof system that we didn't have to tear off all the roof that really wasn't damaged other than having a few dents in it, and just do a re-roof with the roof hugger system.
We said, let's just put a roof over a roof on the good roofs that none of the structural part was damaged. And that went very well. It went over good with the school. They said, whatever we think we can do to not only save money, save time. And then Ceco got right on that, got me the material. We got the material within 3-4 weeks. We got right on the roofs, got the roofs dried in, and then we focused on all the structural.
There's an aerial shot where the buildings are all color-coded, and it's all color-coded by types of roofing systems, and also labeled as to what needed to be done to what. That really put a sense of order into basically a shambled environment, right?
That is correct. Without that footprint, we would have been lost. We'd have been falling over each other. We would be doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. By looking at that schematic and taking building C to building A, to building B, to moving back around the facility, we're able to pull all of this project together, utilize the manpower that was available through Koetter, and our sources of material through our own plants, through our MBCI facilities, to pull this project together.
Talk about your relationship with Ceco Building Systems and how responsive they were and how quickly they were to act, and how they helped you to achieve what you needed to do.
Well, it was amazing. Ceco got up here within hours of the phone call, and Ervin's only a few hours away anyway, but then Mike came up and he brought some engineers up and some architects and a lot of the drawings from 2008 of the original, some of the original schools. And most of this is all Ceco buildings, and we've been with Ceco for 25 years now, and developed a great relationship with them. And so they really jumped on it with both feet and got in here and helped us get the ball rolling.
It's just a matter of just asking people what we need and can you do this, and the way that everybody came together, the Ceco personnel, MBCI, Koetter Construction, the community, I mean, we just all bonded together to make this thing happen.
What lessons have you learned that you'd like to share with the other builders who are watching this thinking, wow, that is something, they really accomplished something? What is it that you hope they take away?
The thing that I hope they take away from here is the fact that when you have a relationship with your supplier, you become one. You begin to operate as a unit, not two separate entities, and where the communication flows both ways. Information from the field, design and fabrication information flowing back, so that you can put a project together, taking the experts from both sides and make a project that the customer can have that he's proud of for many years to come.